Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the very special edition of That's a Shoot. It's the WWE 2024 Awards ceremony show where we give the awards out to the best of WWE. You know, tag team of the year, rivalry of the year, match of the year, and many more. So this is going to be a very special one. Return in. We got 9 categories. So let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. By the way, this first part of the video it's been choppy. My things that have been happening on with my recording or XSplit. For some reason it's been choppy, not been as streamlined as it should be. So yeah, we're not gonna be I'll be on camera for this, I'll be on camera for the end. But as we giving out the awards, there will be no camera. Make it a lot easier on you to digest this award show, not having everything be so choppy. So let's get to it. As we always start off with Rookie of the Year. The first award is Rookie of the Year. I'll be very honest, this may be the last time I do Rookie of the Year because it's so hard to find out when these guys make their, make their NXT debut, or when it's, or when they something like that. Because, I believe that all 5 of these people have made their debut within the last year on NXT, right? As we go through them, we got Javon Evans, upper left-hand corner. Obafemi, upper right-hand corner. Jasmine Nix, lower left-hand corner. Jada Parker, lower right-hand corner. And Carly Bright, right there, split in the middle. So I think these are, the 5 that made their debut within the last year. I think there's a few others who may so as well, but see, I don't know. So it's so hard to find out, like who who made their debut or stuff like that. So there's a possibility that I may get rid of the Rookie of the Year award. Next year, and I just might come up with something else. I would either come up with something like NXT Superstar of the Year. I may do that. Or and then just like that. Or I may say something. I don't know. I'm not sure. Or I may just get rid of it altogether. I'm not sure. But these are the 5 people who I think would be, good choice for Rookie of the Year. But I think the winner of the 2024 Rookie of the Year is Obafemi. What a tremendous year. He started off winning the NXT Breakout Tournament late in 2023. It caused him to get an opportunity at a shot at the championship. He then defeated Dragon Lee to become NXT North American Champion, and had a tremendous run where he was still in the show, when he would wrestle. Just tremendous. He's got areas. He's got the size. He's got the look. He is a star in the making. He for a guy who's this is not what he wanted to do originally. He wanted to be a football player, play for I think the University of Alabama. He's taken to this business extremely well, and it's always been fun to see. He had a tremendous WrestleMania weekend, a triple threat match with him and Dijak and Josh Briggs. He's had some other great matches with Wes Lee, Tony D'Angelo, a lot of other things. And now He's the #1 contender for the NXT Championship. New Year's Eve will be taking on Trick Williams. Maybe taking on Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe in a triple threat match because of what happened this past Tuesday on NXT. The controversy of a double pin. But we'll have to wait and see. But that being said, I think it is no doubt a grind. And all those other 4 people had great years. Jada Parker broke the internet when she debuted, obviously, all over World Star and everything like that. She broke the internet a couple weeks ago when she went up, was just cursing up a storm. First told the referee, "Nigga, you know what I said." And then when they came back to commercial, she said, "Well, this shit gotta stop." So she's broken the internet several times. But yeah, Obafemi was a true thing, and maybe that's what maybe I may call it like the breakout star instead of rookie of the year. Maybe it's a breakout star. I don't know, because there are some people who break out. So, yeah. So I would say Obafemi is the 2024 Rookie of the Year. Most Improved. The nominees are Karrion Kross, upper left hand corner. Sol Ruka, left hand middle. Ridge Holland, lower left hand corner. Kalani Jordan, upper right hand corner. Solo Sikoa, right side middle. Ludwig Kaiser, lower right hand corner. All 6 really showed their stuff. And let me also say that Most Improved is not necessarily about the in-ring stuff. It's about the overall presentation. Yes, maybe you've gotten better in the ring, but maybe also what you do is that you've also shown something that you were more than what you were in the past. For instance, Solo Sikoa showed that he was more than just a sidekick, that he could be a boss. Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, they showed that they were more than just gymnasts. They were actual wrestlers. Karrion Kross showed that he was that he could do tremendous character work. That he wasn't just some heel jobber to be beat. Ridge Holland showed that he was a major player, and Ludwig Kaiser showed that he can be more than just Gunther's sidekick, or just be more than just a big part of a tag team. So that he can be a big player. But only one could be Most Improved. And the 2024 Most Improved Wrestler goes to Solo Sikoa. I think his rise from enforcer of the Roman Reigns bloodline to having his own bloodline, and the way he treated out is tremendous. Now, there have been people for some reason have said that he's not the guy, he shouldn't be the guy, and because of Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu can steal the show, and WWE was worried that Jacob Fatu would maybe overshadow Solo Sikoa. But I think WWE, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu have done a great job in them showing off what Jacob Fatu can do in the ring and as a character, while also still showing that he is subservient as of now to Solo Sikoa. And as many people have said before, when the Jacob Fatu's thing is, "I love you, Solo," right? The day that when he goes and says, "I hate you, Solo," or "I don't love you, Solo," or something to that nature, is going to be an epic turn. And it'll be tremendous. And the reason why it's going to be because of the way Solo has projected himself and has become a standout player. And you know, and I was all on board on giving Solo the championship at SummerSlam. I was all on board on giving him Solo the championship. To me, he didn't have to have it long. Well, who did Sid, right? It was Sid. So in '96, Shawn Michaels had the championship. He wrestled Sid at Survivor Series for the title. Sid won. Sid then got it. Then Sid he wrestled Bret Hart at the December In Your House It's Time, and then wrestled Shawn Michaels in San Antonio. Shawn Michaels running it back. That apparently was, but it wasn't always the plan. The plan was actually to do like Vader and have and to have that where Vader would have a run with it but then when Shawn didn't want to do the job to Vader, they went to Psycho Sid and did that. But yeah, they could have done that here. They could have easily had Solo win the match at SummerSlam or what was it? Yeah, at SummerSlam, and then come back later and then have Cody just win it back on the SmackDown season premiere of USA. They could have easily have done that as well. So, but they didn't, and I think it's okay. Okay, it's not like it ruined Solo or nothing like that. Solo's still, it's still a massive, over heel, and it's gonna be interesting on January 6th to see what happens because you would think that Roman Reigns would get the Ulafala and become back the head of the table. But if Solo Sikoa, I would say Sikoa as in Coca-Cola. I have no idea why, but if Solo Sikoa could beat Roman Reigns, that would be more intriguing. Where does Roman Reigns go next? He's no longer the head of the table. He's no longer the tribal chief. Where does Roman Reigns care to go next? That might be an interesting, look to see. And that might be the more interesting place. But I think one thing that they want to do is they want to tell a story and they want to have the conclusion to the story. And I think a conclusion to this story is Roman Reigns getting coming ahead of the table, and then where does he go from that? Does he fall back into being that egomaniacal, dastardly person that he was before? Or does he become a more benevolent tribal chief? We'll have to wait and see. But the most improved wrestler of 2024, I think without question, is Solo Sikoa. Well, I should call it most improved superstar because wrestler, you can take that as being in ring, but he's got the whole thing improved on the mic greatly as well. Tag Team of the Year is next. I'll be honest with you. I think 2024 was a down year for tag team wrestling in the WWE. But hopefully 2025 will be a better year for tag team wrestling in both the men's and women's division. We'll wait and see how that goes. But as for 2024, the nominees for Tag Team of the Year are upper left-hand corner, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Lower left-hand corner, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Upper right-hand corner, the Motor City Machine Guns. Lower right-hand corner, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. And in the center, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD Madonna. This was really like I said, a down year. Even so much so that we had to put the guys who just debuted in WWE and on the list as the as part of the tag team of the year. No, I don't, see, it's so much because I don't have really a lot to say. I guess you could say maybe there are reasons why I didn't put on maybe DIY or I didn't put on R-Truth and the Miz. I was thinking about putting R-Truth and the Miz on. The reason why I didn't put on the Street Profits, or did I put on Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa of the Bloodline. There were some good matches. You know, that all these people had, but I thought these five were the best of the best for the most part this year. And the winner of Tag Team of the Year 2024 is, the winners are Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. Listen, Nathan Frazier and Axiom has held the NXT Tag Team titles for the most of 2024. At the beginning of the year where they didn't win them, and then they did win them, and then they had a break where they lost to Chase U for a week or two, and then won them right back. But for the most part, they've been the champions the entire year. Same goes with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They won the championship shortly after WrestleMania, and they've been the champions most of the year instead of a maybe 1 month and a half run for Ida Dawn and Alba Fire, but they've held the championship most of this year as well. So I think for the most part you had to give it to both of them. You had to give this word to both of them. They both deserved it. Both did a great job, and yeah, give them all credit. Now they're heading into 2025. Jade Cargill has been injured, and there's been so much stuff going on about her injury. Is it she's legitimately injured, but the thing is that, like, how bad is it? There are some people saying it's a few months, she'll be back for WrestleMania or something like that. There's some that are saying that it's a really bad one, and that she, really bad injury, and that she's gonna be out for at least a year. And then there's also things where that it's, they truly do not know because it's keeping quiet, and that's why some people may be thinking, is this some type of work, something like that. Or had they or did they shoot themselves into a work where, sure, she's injured, but this is a great way to tell a story of who done it. And I've said this before, past on my That's a Shoots little podcast type thing. I love a whodunit. I love a whodunit, and there's gonna be a whodunit for Jade Cargill. And right now, the two prime suspects are Bianca Belair and Naomi. Is this going to be a situation where it's one is one of those two? It's just going to be like a Triple H Rikishi situation where Naomi did it, but she did it for Bianca Belair. Who knows? But whatever it is, first and foremost, we want Jade to recover and and get back healthy, and do what she needs to do to resume her wrestling career. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that when she does come back, this could lead to a great storyline. Something that the women's division has been asking for and could really get and could kind of use. So this is going to be good, I think. And the future breakup of Nathan Frazier and Axiom is going to do well as well for NXT. I think that's got to be coming up soon. So, Tag Teams of the Year, It's shared with Bianca Belair and Nathan Frazier Axiom. Next, Rivalry of the Year. The nominees are Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, upper left-hand corner. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns, lower left-hand corner. Upper right-hand corner, Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. Lower right-hand corner, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. In the dead center, the OG Bloodline versus the New Bloodline. Quickly on all these things, Liv and Rhea, a tremendous story is told, a tremendous double turn for both, as Rhea was a heel in the Judgment Day, and Liv Morgan was the baby face coming back to the tour. And because Rhea was getting so popular, that the fans actually kind of turned her heel, because when she injured Rhea Ripley, quote unquote, she injured Rhea Ripley in the rear shoulder, taking a shoulder for a shoulder. The fans legitimately get mad at Liv Morgan for doing so, and they kind of turned her heel, and it's been great. And then with the Dominic turn at SummerSlam and everything like that, it's just been a tremendous feud, and it should end on January 6th in a match for the Women's World Championship. Either woman could win it. I will say this: depending on what you want your Mania match to be, if you want a Mania match between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, which should be a awesome thing. If you want, that should be a number one thing that you should at some point be trying to do, especially if you can't do the Jade Cargill Bianca Belair match, then the next best thing is to do Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair. That's the best next match to do. And I think you have to put the title on Rhea Ripley. But if you're planning on doing something with Charlotte or Becky Lynch, keep the title on Liv Morgan. You keep the title on Liv Morgan. I think that's the one. Yeah, that's what I would do. So it all depends on which way the match is gonna go. So it should be very interesting. Listen, it was a short thing, but it was tremendous with The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, and how that all went down with The Rock coming in, kind of taking Cody's spot, and then the fans getting behind Cody, saying that we wanted Cody, and we didn't want The Rock, which I said it before, which is all kinds of crazy, because when they did the January, the Raw Day 1 thing with The Rock, everybody was so happy that we were finally gonna get Rock and Roman. Everybody wanted it, and then they just said no, we're not gonna do that. Really? No, we don't want it. We want Cody. So, whatever. But it was a tremendous 3-month build that saw some fantastic work. Saw a new character that really, in the wrestling world, The Rock probably needed. He probably needed to become the final boss. Now he takes it a little too far sometimes, I think, with the internet, with the internet promos. But it's tremendous. The Rock is The Rock, and he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, of all time. So you never know with him. Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser has been an underrated feud that's been going on since almost like April in WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, and they just been back and forth. And at one point, Ludwig Kaiser got hurt, and then recently Ludwig Kaiser hurt Sheamus, and so there's a lot of things that are happening between those two. This is like the feud that won't end, but who cares? Because it's been some good matches and some really good stuff here. And again, like I have Ludwig Kaiser as my as one a nominee for most improved, and this it's almost based on this storyline just by itself. What he's done with Sheamus, so very good for you. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, what can you say about it? It's been tremendous. Ever going back to when CM Punk came back last year in Survivor Series, a almost full 10-month feud for those two, where the first, where like the first, 6 or 7, 8 months of the feud, they didn't even have a match. It was just based on talking and based on you know being screwed over and things like that, and some of the things that they were done. No match was the first match was at SummerSlam. The second match was at Berlin, Bash in Berlin, and then the next match was at Bad Blood in October. So the final one. It's just a truly amazing story that was been told from CM Punk, and now the storylines coming off of that, is becoming even better right now. CM Punk is now, going after Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre looks like they could be coming for the 4 members of the OG Bloodline: Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, and Roman. So this is pretty epic, and the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline, which it's very interesting. Some people, and I would kind of agree that we kind of thought that the way they went about it was maybe kind of rushed, because they tried to rush it for Survivor Series. For what the stuff that Roman did, maybe shouldn't have been so, it shouldn't have been so easily forgiven by Jay and Sammy. And then the whole thing of, it having to be 5 men and them bringing in Bronson Reed, who was of Samoan descent, but not obviously part of the Samoan dynasty, but of Samoan descent. So he's a part of the Bloodline. And then Paul Heyman comes back and brings in CM Punk as the 5th member. So it's been truly epic, but it is, and it's still going. January 1st, Tribal Combat, not January 1st, January 6th, Tribal Conflict, first on first Netflix, Roman versus Solo Sikoa, going to be fantastic. And it still may go further, because there's still some talk about Roman and Jacob being for Mania. It's also some talk about Roman and Punk, but there's Roman and Jacob, and it still could go, because again, like I talked about just a few minutes ago, the story they could tell, with what happens on January 6th would be amazing. In either way, and we'll have to wait and see how that goes down. But those are your nominees. But the winner, I think this is a pretty obvious one, the winner of Rivalry of the Year is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, there just isn't any other way to say it. This was the feud of the year, rivalry of the year, maybe even rivalry of the decade. The stuff to come from this was truly amazing, and I think that the way they did it is amazing. This is not, I don't think anybody is going to say that this is, Flair and Steamboat of the 80s, where you had them have 3 consecutive matches be 4 stars or better. Especially because I had the SummerSlam match being, a little less than 4 stars. The other 2 were over 4 stars, including the match of the year candidate for Bad Blood. But this was just a fantastic story. 2 guys who could talk it, 2 guys who could work it, 2 guys who did everything like that. And I don't know if they like each other, and to be honest with you, I don't really care. But they were professional enough to work together, not to take pot shots, not to take liberties, you know, with on the mic or in the ring with each other. So, and even if they did, I think both were uh, professional enough to you know to let it go. And I kind of think that's happening now when we're seeing Punk and Seth Rollins. Where you can say something, you know, you can do anything, like but just be professional enough about it, and then talk about it afterwards. Just don't start, don't start shooting in the middle of the ring, verbally or physically, um, as has happened before in Punk's recent past. Um, so yeah, I think this is totally the rivalry of the year. And as the kids say nowadays, this is gonna feed families for a long time. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, rivalry of the year in 2024. The nominees for Premium Live Event of the Year: Survivor Series War Games, Backlash in France, NXT Heatwave, Clash at the Castle, Scotland, the 2024 Royal Rumble, and Bash at Berlin. Now, this has been a good year for Premium Live events if the greatest WrestleMania of all time, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 40, did not make this list. But this is another fantastic year for the WWE in every sense of the word. And I don't think there's been nothing better than these 6 Premium Live events. However, the winner of Premium Live event 2024 is Backlash in France. I gotta tell you, this is 90% of this is based on the crowd. There was some good to great matches on Backlash. It was, there was no. From what I remember, there wasn't a bad match or a stinker on the card or anything like that. But this was the audience. The Jey Uso entrance where they had the flashlights up and they were doing the flashlights, everything like that. Them singing the Randy Orton theme song from Randy Orton come out so much so that Randy actually had to acknowledge them. You know, the way that in the main event with AJ Styles when they were doing the La La Phenomena thing for AJ Styles, and it was doing so much so that the camera was shaking, and that picture of AJ Styles chewing on that gum, and it's embedded in my mind, and it's something that you're just never going to forget, and that's why I think the Premium Live event of 2024 is Backlash in France. It was an amazing time, truly epic. Moment of the year. There were so many moments this year that I couldn't even choose. Like, I just talked about 2 of them in the Backlash. The Jey Uso thing and then the AJ Styles. Those were moments. There were some other moments that happened this year that were just amazing that you had to talk about. And so there were so many moments. I narrowed it down to 8. I put what I thought were the best 8 moments of the year in WWE. And it was hard to try and narrow it down. But here we go. I believe I got at least the best 8. So let's go clockwise with this. Starting with the upper middle. Jordan Grace makes an appearance at the Royal Rumble. It started with this. Jordan Grace, the TNA Knockouts champion, being in the Royal Rumble. Shock to everybody. Later in the year, Ethan Page, after being, I don't know if he's released, but this contract was ran out in AEW, him joining NXT. Wow. Another shock. Right hand side middle. Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam. We all knew it was coming, but it was still a tremendous moment. The new drums at the beginning of his music kind of shocked the world, but man, it was we knew it was coming. How about one that just happened recently? How about the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods turning on Big E on the 10th anniversary of them being them being a group and them being friends. They turned on Big E. It was a shock. They had 3 weeks where they put on just tremendous performances, and it was, and I hope it continues on into the near future. Lower middle, The Rock slapping Cody Rhodes. So on SmackDown, Cody gives the thing over to The Rock, and then the next week they have a kickoff show in Vegas. And they come out and they talk about Rock and Roman and what this is going to be. Now, this is the biggest thing. Cody Rhodes comes out and says, "Nah, this is bullshit. I'm picking, Roman Reigns." And he talks about the family. And The Rock says, "Don't talk about my family." And he slaps Cody Rhodes. Amazing. Lower left-hand corner, Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship. It's a moment. It's not like a surprising moment, but it's a moment that we all wanted to see. Jey Uso deserve to be some type of champion for, not only because of just the hard work and dedication that he has done, but just how over he is. He is the #1 merch seller in the WWE. Now, I'm pretty sure that if you took a look at it, he could probably be #1 in all the metrics. Like you look at the ratings on television, the views on YouTube, and the views on social media. It probably belongs to Jey Uso a lot of times. So this was a good thing for him. He deserved the Intercontinental Championship. He deserved more with it, but they had to go to the bloodline thing. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry making an NXT debut. But when we started to hear about the NXT TNA relationship, boy, we all heard about this, and I believe it started with Jordan Grace. She came back to NXT to face Roxanne Perez. At one of the premium live events. I think it might even been NXT Heatwave. Can't remember. But she decided to face her to become for the NXT Women's Championship. So then we get Joe Hendry. He stayed for a little while, and it's amazing. I think everybody's expecting a Joe Hendry thing in the Royal Rumble. Excuse me for a second. Joe Hendry being coming from TNA to NXT is amazing. That moment was electric. Many people think that's going to happen in he's going to be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. Would love to see it. And Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Dominic turning on Rhea Ripley to go with Liv Morgan was a banner shock and banner moment in 2024. All of these moments really makes up the shocking, makes up, it's the reason why we watch wrestling for these moments. And these 8 moments, I think, are great storytellers of what 2024 was like in WWE. But there's only one. The moment of the year in 2024 is, yeah, I mean, it's this. And it's because of the story. 2024 has been a year of long stories. Now, some people would tell you that there are stories that have taken a long time to tell, and maybe that is the case with some of them. But there are also been some stories that have just been that it has been long-term storytelling, and this one is in it. It started with Karrion Kross getting into Xavier Woods' head as if you know why he hasn't been the champion, why he hasn't, why he hasn't been like the star, and why Kofi's had his chance and Big E's had his chance. Why hasn't he had his chance? And that's gotten into Xavier Woods' mind, and it's kind of made Xavier Woods kind of wonder about it and everything to go. Then we had that 3 weeks ago. We had that tremendous thing on Raw where before the anniversary they got a backstage argument where they were just talking shit about each other, about you ain't good enough to win a singles championship, and we gave you Kofi Mania and you pissed them down to Brock Lesnar in 60 seconds. Uh, all of that led to this, where Big E came out and he didn't want New Day to break up, and he wanted to be their manager, and they were just like, "You gonna do this now? You gonna do this now? You couldn't have done this years ago. You couldn't have been out here with us years ago. You're gonna do it now." And it's just amazing. And I think they've gotten what they wanted out of this. To just and the stuff they've been doing backstage, where everybody has just been so against them. They turn their back on them, won't dap them up, won't let them change in the locker room. Oh, it's been tremendously epic, and I hope they can continue this, because this is a story that is truly epic. And you got some meat on the bones. I don't know if Big E could ever get cleared or will ever be cleared. You never know. As they were said in the thing, that he's never going to be cleared, and maybe that's true. Maybe Big E can never be cleared. He can never wrestle again. But even if he can't, I think at some point we will see Big E managing, some tag team to go up against the New Day. And I think that's the way to go. I think the way to go is to give the New Day one of the tag team championships, whatever it may be, the World Tag Team Championship, the WWE Tag Team Championship, at some point, and then and let them have a good heel run with it, and then maybe Big E brings in they brings in a face tag team to to face them. Who knows? I wouldn't want this, because I want Jay to be a single. But what if what if Big E were to end up managing the Usos and run this rivalry back? Tremendous. So yeah, there was a lot of great moments this year, but I think the biggest moment was definitely New Day turning on Big E. Still cannot believe it, and I love the reactions on TikTok and social media and everything like that. It's been fun to watch. Next, we have Performer of the Year. So nominees are upper left hand corner Sheamus, lower left hand corner Cody Rhodes, lower right hand corner Drew McIntyre, upper right hand corner Braun Breaker, center and dead center Gunther. Now, some may ask, why did you not put any women on this in this category, and I will be very perfectly honest with you. I don't know if any of the women deserved it. Women have had some very nice, some very nice stories, some very nice matches, things like that. But I don't know if, to take a phrase from Sheamus, if they've had any bangers after bangers after bangers. There has been one, in particular wrestler, female wrestler, that's had a banger after banger after banger. I did at one point try to think of, maybe I would put Roxanne Perez on here because she has done some very good work in the ring this year. But I just really think when it came down to it, I think these five are the best performers of the year. And we can talk about it. Cody Rhodes, has really lived it up. He's had some really good matches as champion. Drew McIntyre, amazing matches, throughout the year as well. I talked about Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser having banger after banger. When Sheamus came back, I don't think there's been one Sheamus match that hasn't been a banger. Braun Breaker has had some great matches too, and Gunther is Gunther. He hasn't he hasn't had the 4.5, 4 3/4, 5-star matches that he has been known to have, but he's still been very good in the ring, and you have to give him credit for that. But there can only be one performer of the year, or can there be? No, there is. There's only one. The winner of the 2024 Performer of the Year is. Yeah, it's Big Shamo. It's Sheamus. Listen, and yeah, he's not a champion. He's he doesn't have a 5-star match to his unto his name, and he doesn't have a main event, premium live event, right? I don't even know. I think his premium live event was his first premium live event this year was this past one, right? The last one, Survivor Series. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Was he on Elimination Chamber? Was he at the Royal Rumble? No, because he was recovering from injury. He came back after WrestleMania. He wasn't like on King of the Ring. He wasn't on any of the Saudi shows. He wasn't in Bash Berlin. He wasn't in Scotland. Yeah. So I think his first premium live event appearance was Survivor Series. But the work he's done on Raw, the matches he has had. Again, we talked about with Ludwig Kaiser. We talked about with Braun Breaker. The matches he's had with Pete Dunne. They've all been bangers. And he's been consistently the best performer, in WWE. And I think this is well deserved. And this is also a guy who, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago was thinking about retirement because he had spinal stenosis. And he was out for a long time then, and he came back, and he's been one of the best performers since he come back. Maybe I would even say maybe the best performer. Again, consistently the best one. He does, when he says he puts on banger after banger after banger, that's not a catchphrase. That's the truth. So without question, the 2024 Performer of the Year is Sheamus. Match of the Year. So, my qualifications in the past have been, for match of the year, has been, the match had to be, I had to have rated the match 4.5 stars or better for it to be on the contender list of match of the year. However, there were a lot of those matches rated. So this year, I just have the 6 matches that I think were 5 stars. the 6 matches that were 5 stars that I gave to as a rating. I'll actually start with the one on the bottom right hand corner, Thea Hale versus Roxanne Perez at the NXT Great American Bash. This was tremendous. Again, we talked about Roxanne Perez being a great performer. Thea Hale gave a performance of a lifetime in the match as well. It was scintillating. It had me on the seat. It had the fans in NXT on the seat. It was a great showing from these two, and even with the commercial break in it, it was absolutely fanatic, and it was well deserved of a 5-star. Now I don't review and rate the matches of Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and I don't. I'm not going to start doing it on the Saturday main events specials or anything like that. But if I watch something and I think that it's a 5-star match, I'm going to note it down because of this. And I immediately notated down that what this was. I also wrote down this was the same week as well. That was always done on Tuesday. Later that week on Friday, the Street Profits had a match with somebody that was absolutely insane as well. I gave that one 4 3/4 of a star. It was almost a 5-star match, and that match would have been on here if it was, but I just gave it a 4.79. But yeah, DL Roxanne Perez on NXT was incredible. Then let's go ahead and let's go around. We got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood, the Hell in a Cell match. It made the Hell in a Cell match feel, like it meant something again. The violence of it. The incredible, the bloodshed, intentional and non-intentional in the match. It was exactly what Hell in a Cell should be. The match was exactly what it needed to be to end the story. Oh no, this is tremendous. Upper right hand corner, the triple threat match between Obafemi, Dijak, and Josh Briggs. Now, when I originally wrote it, ranked it, if you go back and watch my NXT Stand and Deliver rapid reaction, I think I gave it like 4.5 or 4 3/4 stars. Like I gave it one of those things like that. But once you sit back and watch it again, it's a 5-star match. It's incredible what these 3 guys did. Especially, Dijak and Josh Briggs, you can maybe expect that from them too, because they've been wrestling for a little while. But Obafemi, again, still, like he was virtually brand new, and he's putting on a performance like this. He's holding his own in these performances. This isn't like Dijak and Briggs carrying him. No, he was holding his own. Tremendous match. If you have not seen it, go back and watch it. Lower left hand corner, the Damian Priest Drew McIntyre match from Clash of the Castle. I gave this match 5 stars because it was really good. It was a great story, but it was the unintentional thing that happened there, where Damian Priest was going for his, step up. Tope or whatever you want to call it, to the outside, and he something happens, he missed times, he missed steps, whatever, and his foot gets caught up in the rope. His foot gets caught up in the rope, and it's incredible. And then you get this thing where Drew McIntyre's got to get him out, so he says, I can't win the title if he's locked up, so I got to get him out. He screams that so that he, and it's amazing. And through the rest of the match, Damian Priest is selling that foot. He's selling that foot, and he's doing one-legged, razor's edges, and he's doing one-legged hurricanranas from the top rope. It's amazing. It's storytelling, and as you go back, right. And as you go back and you look at it, you know, you kind of can't believe that he didn't hurt himself worse. He was very lucky. CM Punk was talking about torn hamstring during the post scrum um, post scrum. Um, Triple H was, he was worried about it. He was worried about Damian Priest and what he was, see what it is. So there was a lot of worry about, Damian Priest, but he ended up being fine, maybe just a little bit of a thing. And in fact, then a couple weeks later, they even did the thing with Rhea, where Rhea got her foot, or they did this on purpose. That's when it was an accident, but they did this on purpose. Where Rhea got her leg caught up in it as well, and they, so it was just amazing. It's really amazing. Um, Left middle, the tag match. Um, the the third tag match to main event a WrestleMania in history. The first one was obviously the first one. When WrestleMania 1, Hogan and Mr. T versus Orndorff and Piper. And then we had the WrestleMania 39 Night 1, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus the Usos. And then we had this, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock. And they did this when this apparently was a very cold night. Night 1 was pretty cold, pretty chilly in Philly. Night 2 was a lot more milder. But it was cold as hell, and they were out there. That ain't Rock. He's the only one in trunks. He's in his trunks, so but he's out there. And so much of that Roman's hair, it was like frizzing up, and it looked like it's like. Have you seen that picture of Phil Spector when he's in the courtroom with all this? That's how Roman was looking like. He looked like the Samoan Phil Spector. It was crazy, but it was a tremendous match. Loved the story it told that The Rock was going to fire the official if he did anything called disqualification, anything like that. That was truly amazing. And then of course, upper left hand corner, the match Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, the main event of WrestleMania 40 Night 2, and the Marvel's Avengers type thing that happened where everybody came out and Roman and Cody did their thing to wrestle a tremendous match. It's a, 5-star match, truly epic, and you were just happy to see it. There was a lot of people who were happy for Cody Rhodes doing winning the championship finally. Even the ring announcer, Samantha Irvin, who could not announce it without her breaking up. And seeing Cody win it's that moment from that guy who said it's still real to me, damn it. And that's what that moment for Cody winning, beating Roman Reigns was for a lot of people out there. It's still real to them. There you go, the 6 matches of the year. But there was only one that could be match of the year. And to be honest with you, it's not even close. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Now, if I was one of those guys who doesn't stick to the star ratings and breaks the scale, I guess you could have broken the scale for this one if you wanted to. But this is a 5-star match. This is one of the matches where when you think about the greatest matches in WWE history, this goes on that list. This is how good that was. This is how good this was. I've talked about it when I talk about the CM Punk Drew McIntyre rivalry. This was exactly what this needed to be. And and apparently, the blood loss from Drew McIntyre wasn't supposed to happen. CM Punk hit him with the corner of the thing, and that's what opened him up. But it made it so much better. And those of you guys who have been here with me forever, I am someone that I do not need blood in my wrestling. pretty much at all anymore. I don't really need it. You know, if it happens by accident, I'm okay with it. I don't think they need to do the thing where they stop the match and try to cut the room or anything like that. And I do think that when used properly, blood can be a very effective storytelling. You know, I don't think it doesn't need to be, you know, thing. And there has been more blood this year than, there's been more blood this year than there has been in the years in the past decade combined in WWE. And whether it's been, you know, what I like to have called prick jobs, because I think you talk about the I Quit match between Cody and AJ. They got a little blood, but it wasn't dripping and it wasn't thing. I do think that they didn't do the thing where they stuck it in and ripped. That's what you're supposed to do. Apparently, is when you do a blade job, take the blade, you stick it in the skin and then rip either up or sideways or down or whatever. You know, some people say that you turn and rip. You know, that's what Maven said on his thing, on his YouTube channel, that you would you would turn it or rip it then turn it or whatever that he was talking about. But I think because the blood that has been on this hasn't been too much, so I kind of think that it's just kind of been just like I said, a prick job, like you just stuck it in. You just stuck the blade in and then do anything. Just stuck it in and then it would flow, because head wounds bleed a little bit more than other places, and that's why blade jobs are done on the forehead more than likely, or on the top of the head if you're maybe bald or something like that, because then that's when it happens. But it's this one with the Drew McIntyre. It was needed because CM Punk had a line that said, "When I wipe the blood from your eyes," and that's exactly what happened. He wiped the blood from his eyes virtually. But this was epic, and again, kudos for these two for being professional and working with each other, and just being all out true performers. And CM Punk, I gotta be honest, after that SummerSlam match, I was worried. I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to give the performances that he had given when he was younger. But the strap match afterwards was really good, and then this one was great. And I think him and Seth Rollins on Jan 6 on Raw on Netflix debut, that really might be good. Really, really good. And that might be the first 5-star match, of the year in WWE. Well, maybe it might not be, because the Tribal Combat match could go if they work it right. If it's not like the way they did with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. And again, it wasn't what it should have been. That match between Jey and Roman, but I don't think it was as bad as people said it was. But it could have been a whole lot better. But hopefully the one with Tribal Combat with Roman and Solo will be a lot better. But anyway, yeah, this was amazing. Match of the year. I think I said it when I did my review of Blood. This is the match of the year, and if there was gonna be a match that beat it, then God help me, I couldn't wait to see it. But it's the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, your 2024 match of the year. And the last award we need to give out on this 2024 edition of the WWE Award Show, Superstar of the Year. I'm going to go through each and every one and give you the reasons why. Let's start off with the upper left-hand corner, Jey Uso. I think I talked about this a little bit before in the Moments nominees. He's sold the most merch. He's been the most over person in the company. This is that picture is from Backlash. You see all of the Fireflies. You get the Fireflies before the Wyatts stuff even, before the Wyatts came back. Um, and he's just been amazing. The crowd has been behind him. He's got them yeeting. He's been everything like that. He's been truly been one of the special guys. And I actually am kind of surprised. This just didn't happen. This just didn't happen like by accident. This was like meant to be. This goes back to the 2020 when he was named uh, Roman Reigns' right hand man. That's what this been about. That it was Roman and Vince and Triple H and Michael Hayes, all of them. This Paul Heyman. This was to get Jey Uso over as a big single star. Going back even then, and that's what he is. He is the tremendous. He's amazing. He is the guy. And I hope that at some point they do get him a world championship, wherever that may be. The WWE championship, the world championship, whatever it may be. I hope he gets it really soon. Gunther, again, tremendous in ring, winning the King of the Ring, becoming his matches with Orton and Cody and many others have been incredible. Great match with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania to lose the Intercontinental Championship, and a great match defending against Sami Zayn on a Monday Night Raw. Awesome. He's had some great one-liners this year when he talked about told Bret Hart his favorite wrestler was Goldberg. Then told Goldberg that he wasn't his favorite wrestler at the Bad Blood show. Troll Gunther was amazing, and what they've done recently has been kind of interesting to see. It's almost if like they are slowly but surely turning Gunther babyface, which that would be something to see. I mean, he actually his character it would be like one of the best babyfaces of all time. He's bigger than you. He's better than you, and he's gonna go out and prove it. I think that's such a good babyface thing. One is that can he do it? Can he be it? We'll have to wait and see. I think he's probably been a heel all his career, but we'll see if he can be the babyface. Rhea Ripley. She seems to be the number one women's star in this company, and she's talking about someone who is over. You can audibly say that between Jay and between Rhea, they probably have had the loudest crowd reactions on Monday Night Raw week after week, and she's become a star. Her injury took her out, took the title reign away from her, but she has come back and she's been tremendous, and she is just a truly tremendous superstar, and that's something that you really can't see. You really can't see about that, and I love her for that. In the middle, Solo Sikoa. I talked about my most improved superstar award, and what he's done this year has just been incredible, and he's become a true upper mid to main event type player, and that's not only what the creative has given to him, but he's held up his own as well. Creative could give him each and everything to do, and you still could F it up, and not prove it. But he's proven so much so that he's got this in his blood. I can't wait to see what's next for Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns on the right side, upper right hand corner. What else? What else can you say? He is. I want to make sure here, because I believe he is the. He is the 3 consecutive years in a row Superstar of the Year. 2021, 2022, and 2023. He'll be looking for his 4th straight winning the Superstar of the Year. And that's just because of the stuff that he has done, the character work, the matches he puts on. Even in a part-time state that he does work, he's been, tremendous at what he does. When he shows up, it is special. And you're happy to see him, and it's unbelievable. I think he's just great. He is. I'm going to redo my top 10 in-ring performers and top 10 superstars of all time list. And I'm trying to, and I really think he was not on my list. And when I first did it back in, I think I first did that like in 2027, not 2027, 2017. But he's up there now, without question. He's jumped into the top 10. Liv Morgan had a tremendous year. I think she's played her role perfectly. And when they did the switch from her to being a babyface from the heel, she is incredible. She's got the annoying laugh that she does after everything she says. And the baby talk voice has been tremendous. Some people have been just journeyed with her run as champion because it just seems like that she really hasn't been. It's kind of just been her and Rhea. She's defended it only against Io Sky and then against Zelina Vega. She really hasn't defended everything else, but she's been running her. And some people are also excited that it seemed to be about Dominic Mysterio and not about her and Rhea. Although I think the last month or so it's kind of said that that's what that is. And now they brought in Raquel Rodriguez to be a heavy. I think it's good. I think and I think she is super. She has stepped up her game. And it's really good to see how she's grown. She's gone from that young lady that had blue tongue in the Riot Squad to this grown-ass woman who is the women's world champion. So, and the first ever crown jewel champion. Can't forget that as well. So, Liv Morgan's had a tremendous year. And then there's Cody Rhodes. What can you say? I know there are some people who think that he has not done that he has had a lesser than reign himself. They wonder why was he a part of the whole bloodline stuff to begin with. But you've seen what that's done, right? By putting him in that bloodline stuff is now catered over to the stuff that he's now doing with Kevin Owens, and that's a good thing. And this is a good thing for Roman, right? Because the Roman stuff, the bloodline stuff that Roman started for 4 years, the past 4 years, and what it's been, and how incredibly wonderful the story has been told, is now leading to things branching off. So much so that Kevin Owens is now mad at Cody Rhodes for teaming with Roman Reigns to take on Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa at Bad Blood. And what that's going to now, it is so much so that Kevin Owens has now brought back the package pile driver to hurt people, and the regular pile driver to hurt people. It's done great things, and Cody has played his role great as champion. And again, it seems to come up all the time that people are going. They are going to start turning on Cody Rhodes. As they said, they've been saying this ever since he came back to WWE, because AEW was turning the AEW fans were turning on Cody Rhodes. But here's the thing: it's AEW. It's run by a bunch of people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Excuse my language. This is Triple H. This is even going back to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon knew what he was doing with Cody Rhodes. This is Triple H, and this is Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes and Paul Heyman and many others who have, cultivated the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and the story and his resiliency and stuff like that, and what he's wanted to do. And I don't think the fans are going to be turning on Cody Rhodes anytime soon. There are people who've been talking about that there's going to be a double turn between Cody and Kevin Owens, and I don't think that's happening. I think Cody's going to be a babyface for a long time. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be a babyface. He wants to be his father, the Dusty Rhodes. He wants to be the face forever that Dusty was, and for Ricky Steamboat was, and Sting was. But maybe at some point he will need to have a heel turn, and when he does turn, it's going to be the greatest turn probably in the history of the business. But right now, everybody's behind Cody, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. So there you have it, the 7 nominees for Superstar of the Year. The winner of the Superstar of the Year for 2024 is, I believe it's Jey Uso. And I think, again, we're talking about that he's the #1 merch seller. He's the #1 draw on WWE. He's the one that is tremendously over, gets the loudest crowd reactions, or tied with between him and Rhea Ripley each and every week he comes out. It is unreal to see where this guy is and where he is, and I hope 2025 is his year to become a world champion. I would love to see it. Jey Uso, the 2024 Superstar of the Year. So there you have it, the 2024 awards. What a tremendous year for WWE. Broke records, sellout streaks, amazing. And I hope 2025 continues on even better than 2024. We're waiting to see. I'm kind of hating the fact that they are looking to do more tape shows than live shows. Wrestling is a live show. Like, I understand that if you gotta tape shows because you're going over to Saudi or you're going over overseas and the time difference, things like that. Although there's been a rumor that when they go overseas, to do shows, it's good because it's Netflix and it's a streaming service that it's actually going to be shown live. So if they're doing a show in France, right, which would be like 7, 8 o'clock there, whatever it is, it's going to be shown here like at 11 or 12 or 1, whatever that time difference is. So that should be that could be a very interesting thing to do as well. So, but yeah, I hope 2025 is epic. We've got the Raw on Netflix happening. SmackDown's on USA. A lot of rumors about both shows being 3 hours. About what could it be? We'll have to wait and see when all that happens. But I can't wait. 2025 should be another fantastic year for WWE, and hopefully it will be. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys. Let me know what you think about the awards. Do you like who I've chosen for these certain awards? Do you like? Do you think it should have been someone else? Let me know down in the comment section. Give me your predictions for what's going to happen in 2025. As always, with this annual WWE Award Show, we stop to honor and remember those who we lost in the wrestling world in 2024. May all of these wrestlers and people associated with wrestling, may they all rest in peace.